Alright, Seldon here, and it's now Japan round 4, and didn't record, sorry, the just the start of the turn, but 6 infantry, 1 transport, 3 artilleries was purchased. 4 more infantry will go down here for a shuck and rest up here. Knocked out Burma. Also thought I'd do a strat raid on Russia. In keeping with the disastrous way this game has been going, the bomber was instantly destroyed, and Burma. Actually, Burma was okay. Didn't lose one of the infantry in Burma, but I want to keep the pressure up on India so that he doesn't withdraw the UK forces. I probably can't take it next turn, but I don't want him removing those forces to Russia, where they're more useful for him. I've got a concern about these guys could come into here. Not a lot I can do there. Just to make this worthwhile, I have to pick up this anti-air and an infantry to here, just to make this too unattractive just to do a strafing attack, because he's got the strong air force there. But if I put an AA gun there, the AA guns are one of the best purposes for them is to stop strafing attacks with large air force formations. Just makes it a little dicey, and he's a fairly cautious player, so I don't think he'll do that. So we'll end up with about 5 ground units and an AA there versus sort of 5 ground units and air force that he could lose. So he might go for it, but it makes it much more of a 50-50 type battle. The risk here is an outflank. So these Russian tanks, if he even just gets 1 Russian tank or 2 Russian tanks down in here, there's this real soft underbelly here that I pulled everything out for the India attack. So you've got to place a couple of backup troops there. It's no option. I must put one here just in case he moves the tanks here or tanks here. Just cause vast amount of damage if they get past the first defences. So you have 1 in the reserve here, so if he comes through, I've got something to attack it with. This leaves this pretty vulnerable up here, unfortunately. If he decides to go strongly into Yakut, which he could, I don't have a big counterpunch, but they're only 1 unit, so I think if I've got to leave anywhere, this is the one to go, and I'll come back here. He's going to have to go strong, because I'll have 1 there, plus some air power, so... actually, I won't have air power because they're too far away. They're down here, my air power, aren't they? 1, 2, 3. I wonder if I can afford to keep 1 of the air. I wonder if I can afford to keep 1 of them. Up the top, just to stop light capture. Let me have a look. So what have I got here then? I got a battleship. I need 1 battleship up here, because the bombers are in range of a couple of transports there. 1 bomber. Battleship will stop a bomber. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're back. So so let's just see what we got here. We'll have a destroyer, 2 fighters, 2 carriers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus a battleship, 6. He'll be attacking with 4 fighters, a bomber down here, and a submarine. Bomber, submarine, versus battleship, 2 carriers, 2 fighters, destroyer, right? Oh shoot. So they go to a battleship, 2 carriers, 2 fighters, destroyer. Yeah, I think he's a little too cautious. I haven't run the odds, but we will. I don't think he'll go for that. Because if he loses, then it's just it's pretty disastrous for him. You also got to think about whether he's going to take the risk if it goes badly. So I think we're okay. That means I've got one spare fighter to use, and I think I'll put him. I need somewhere that can also land, say in Caucasus if need be. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Manchuria would work. Be good if I could also do it so he could attack China, India if necessary. So 1. This one works. 1, 2, 3. But he can also get to there. Or, but I also want him to be able to hit up here. So in fact, that's one of the major. So so he's got to be 1, 2. It's got to be this one or this one. So that one's too risky. Well, that's annoying. 1, 2, 3. Can't be involved in a India attack. But he does thwart this guy a little. Okay. All right. So that's sort of the move. A lot of people, I think, would, if you've seen just how the game's been going so far, this attack here, a lot of players, more intermediate players, will say, well, why would you do a 60% attack on India? The general rule is you're just not going to really find 80, 90, 95% attacks, large attacks against very good players, unless they're endgame type battles like against Moscow or against Berlin. You just won't get those. They just won't present those opportunities. So if it wasn't a 90% type battle, he would have pulled the forces out, and you just don't see those sort of battles. In the very high level games, you sometimes are taking 60-70% battles. This one could have gone, if it was a even if it was like a 20% type battle that I ran and lost, you'd run the battle for a turn. It's not going so well. Pull out here. Trouble is with losing 4 aircraft and from the AA guns, which is really on the outer edge of possibilities, made a retreat quite difficult. So it would have been okay even within in the range of a if it's going borderline, we would have won. So if it was a battle that was sort of just going by the averages, we would have won it. If it was going slightly below average, maybe could have still pressed on and just seen how it went and decimated both sides. Maybe we just would have taken it next turn with the troops from East Indies. The only real risk there was if it was a total disaster type battle that didn't even let you retreat, because they would just come in and destroy all your retreating forces. And unfortunately, that was the sort of battle that we got there. But that's the way a dice game works. We don't complain about the dice. There've been some people who've looked into it. It's fair dice in Axis and Allies, believe it or not. The people who've done hundreds of thousands of simulations and going, yeah, okay, it looks pretty fair. I do see some weird things in combat occasionally. So large combats, there'll be some dices that aren't counted sometimes, and you see it in the dice rolls. You go back to the dice roll, which you can choose during a battle anyway, and you see a hit on the dice, but it doesn't register as an actual hit. Sometimes until later on. Sometimes it registers later on in the battle. So it's not perfect. I've had ones where whole waves of units. It seems to have ignored a whole bunch of, say, tanks there. Like none of them get a hit. But anyway, I think it usually in those cases it seems to then register it later on in the battle, even if it doesn't show up as a hit, sort of in the dice counter. But generally speaking, they are fair dice, and 10%, a 90% battle does still mean, and I've had lots of 90% India battles that I've run and against sort of more intermediate players and lost, but that means 1 in 10 of those you will still lose. But you wouldn't ever really find a significant battle, a very good player, higher level platinum player, letting you have a 90% battle against a large target. You do get it, against the little blockers, the individual 1 or 2 infantries, but obviously do those ones. But the large battles, good players won't do that. They'll withdraw if the battles are destined to be lost. Unless it's one of the big end game battles. Sometimes you do get a 90% against Moscow or something, but a lot of really good players have possibly resigned at that point. Alright, so I think that's where we're going. This one's the concern for me. He could come in strong against there and I'd be in a little bit of trouble, but we'll play it out. I don't think he can come in here now unless even if he comes in strong, I think we can stop that. I'm putting one fighter over here to make this one Japanese fighter to make this a no-go zone for the Russians, because this battle here also didn't go well. Almost like a German fighter, so pretty much the dice are going as bad as they can possibly go. But we're not over yet. We keep battling on, and even if we have some really bad battles, we always continue on another couple of rounds because you never know what's going to happen afterwards. Alright, so that is it. I'm just putting this guy over there just to stop him trying to build a transport or something. Don't think he will, but I've got no other use for it. All right. So I don't know, this one he could possibly go for it, but it's risky. I don't think he doesn't seem to like risky battles, Amund, so and that served him well this game actually. I've been doing the risky battles and failing every single time. But if you run a whole bunch of sort of 50-50 battles, you'll win on average. In the long run, you'll win half of them. And you often do. A very good player will never present you with too many slam dunks. You're just going to take the risks, and for me this would have been, it's not disastrous. We can build up again and go again against India. We retreated before we lost too many in the air, but it is disappointing when you lose those sort of battles. But alright, Seldon signing off.